Hey guys, how's it going? I thought for this episode we would take a look at space, ticker symbol SPCE, or Virgin Galactic, and this stock has had a lot of movement recently. So let's start off by seeing how the last trading day went. You can see it is after hours on Friday. Today is October 16th, and we had another pretty big run up on space today. You can see it reached a peak of over 7.4% on the day. Yes, we did sell off a little bit. We rallied back and then we sold off for the rest of the day. We're basically ending the day up around about a little over 3%, which is nothing to kind of wag your finger about. But we had a huge run up today in space, and I think this is going to be a sign of things to come this coming trading week. And I say that because let's go to the TradingView chart here to look at some of the technical analysis on Virgin Galactic. So if you've seen my prior videos on how I've done the TA, basically I've drawn these areas of support and resistance that are represented by the yellow lines. The pink line here represents the 50-day moving average, the orange line represents the 21-day moving average, and these colored backgrounds represent the Fibonacci retracements. This is the daily chart, so each candle does represent 1 day of trading. You can see back from September 25th to September 28th, over that weekend, we had a big gap up. And that next trading day, Virgin Galactic was up, I believe, over 25%. I can't remember if it hit 26% or not, but I know it was at least a 25% gain that day alone. So ever since then, we've been on an upward trajectory ever since about October 8th. Had a little bit of a pullback, kind of been sideways for the past couple days, and then today, again, we had another pretty significant green day. If I scroll out here, you can see it's been quite some time since Virgin Galactic has been trading in the low 20s. If we look back in time, I mean, ever since about, let's just say mid-April, Virgin Galactic has just kind of been floating in the mid to high teens. Yes, for a quick minute, it did go up to the mid-20s in the end of July, but didn't really stay there for long, and again traded in this pretty tight channel from about $16 to about $18 for a few trading weeks until we finally had that big gap up. This big gap up was due to two analysts upgrading the buy rating on Virgin Galactic, and as we can see, the stock responded favorably. In fact, because of that gap up, the 21-day moving average has now crossed over the 50-day moving average, which is a bullish sign. The one thing that does worry me a little bit is you can see ever since that gap up, we've been having usually higher than normal RSIs, very close to the overbought category. So I am concerned that we might have a little bit of a pullback, but I don't think, at least in the short term, we're going to get back to the $15, $16, $17 range yet. The other big catalyst that's coming up next week is that they have two more test flights, or two more tests, I should say, that they need to pass before they get approval from the FAA for regular space flights. Now, the first of those two tests is penciled in for next Thursday, so actually less than a week away, October 22nd. Now, if that goes well, I'm sure this stock is going to go off to the moon. I mean, I think a part of this run-up is basically anticipation up until that catalyst. Now, you could play this, and I'm thinking about playing it this way, of buy the rumor, sell the news. I think there will be a big run up, and then once that event does happen, now I will quickly say that it is not guaranteed that that event is going to happen on the 22nd. It may happen the day after, or maybe the day after that. Obviously, it all depends on the weather and other factors. But you may have a sell the news event that even if the test flight does go well and they get a pass rating on that flight, we might still have a dip or a sell-off in the share price, or if you have options, you'll most likely see implied volatility crush or IV crush, so your premiums will probably lose value the day of or the day after that test flight happens. So for me, what I'm looking at, I currently own no positions on space right now, no options, no shares. So I would initially want to start the wheel strategy by selling some cash secured puts. So where do I want to get in to potentially not get assigned any shares? Well, right now, I would be looking at something sub $20. And I say that because this 21-day moving average right now is right at in the high 19s, just shy of $20. I'm pretty sure that by the next trading week, if we still keep trading above 20, this is just going to inch higher and higher. So by the time next Thursday rolls around or that test flight happens, that 21-day moving average is probably going to be in the low 20s. And that is going to act as an area of support. Right now, the closest area of support I've identified is right about $20.50 or so. And that's right at this Fibonacci retracement level, which if I scroll back is actually going to be the 38% Fibonacci retracement. So I'm looking at this stock graph and I'm wondering if there is a new area of support right now, because I've noticed around the $21-ish mark, right about here, looks like for the past few trading days from October 13, 14, 15, actually even October 7, and this intraday wick on October 5th, have really had a hard time initially breaking above about $21.80, let's say, till we finally did it and stayed above it today. And if I scroll all the way back, you can see back on August 4th, this candle also topped out at that same price level. So I do think right now our closest area of support is going to be about $21.80. We'll have to wait and see. I want confirmation on Monday that we can close and stay above this price level, because if we come back and sell off, then I still think this price level in the mid 20s is going to hold up. And like I said, given enough time in the next few trading days, I think this 21-day moving average will also come and meet us somewhere at that same support level. That is where I would want to sell cash good puts below about $20. That way I have a less likelihood of getting assigned shares if the stock does sell off. But I would want to play IV Crush and see if I can just scalp the premiums and maybe not risk getting more shares of Virgin Galactic assigned. And that's not because I don't believe in the stock right now. It's more because I don't believe in the overall market right now. Because you have the election coming up, you have another debate coming up next week, and I think the more kind of nervousness that's in the market, if we have an overall market pullback, well, that might take Virgin Galactic down with it, and I'm trying to limit any bag holding that may happen if we have another big correction in the market in the near future. That is really my technical analysis on Virgin Galactic. Let's take a look at what the option order flow data showed today. So here's the trade UI option flow data on Space for today. If I scroll down here, you can see mostly calls. The green boxes represent call orders, the red boxes represent put orders, and there were actually a lot of weeklies that expired today. So a lot of calls today. That's, I'm assuming, people or big money, institutional money playing the huge run up today. But then we also have a few options that are expiring the following Friday on October 23rd, 2 calls and 1 put. And then somebody actually sold some puts that were leaps for April of 2021 at the 20 strike for quite a lot of money, $231,000 just about. So we'll have to see. That might be a hedge because that is such a far out expiration, and especially the strike is very close to the money. But overall, I think our technical analysis is showing that we are short-term bullish on Space. And like I said, we have some catalysts coming up next week that could skyrocket the stock even higher. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever played Space or Virgin Galactic. I've actually been playing and trading options on this stock for a few months now on my channel. It's been good to me so far, so I am looking to get back into the game. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and happy trading.